All right, we are in Fusion 360 and we're going to learn about how we can take our design here and create a drawing from the design. First thing I want to pay attention to before we even get that far is what is the front side of this? Because the front view, just like when we did this on paper, everything else is based off of that front view. It's central. It's the first view that we're going to place, which you'll see in just a second. So if if you know what your front is, you can just click on it and look at it straight. Okay, this is my front view. Great. If you agree that that's the best front view for you to have, then leave it. However, let's say that you were looking at this side. Well, that's not a very good front view. Okay, so if you ever need to change a front view, you want to go to the flattest side of something. Like let's say at this right side view is the better front view. I've clicked right on here so that I'm looking at it, staring at it straight, and you can right click and set current view as front. Okay, now in this case, it doesn't matter because it's basically the same thing on all sides. Okay, but if you sketched this, on different planes, and you don't like the front view that you have, again, go to the flattest view, right click, and set current view as front. If what you have is good, then let's just move on. So to create a drawing from our design, we're going to go up here to where it says design. We're going to go down to drawing and click on the option from design. Over here, we have some options under create drawing. If they don't show up, sometimes they get hidden. Just click on those arrows to show them again. We want the full assembly. In this case, I only have one thing. If there happen to be multiple pieces in this entire thing, you could actually choose different components. We're creating a brand new one. Eventually, we'll learn how to create a template, but not now. We are starting from scratch. We're in ASME, and most of ours for this assignment, I know were created in inches. If yours happen to be in millimeters, then you would probably want to change this. Okay, so again, most of you did this assignment in inches, but if it's in millimeters, make sure you change it. And our sheet size, this is a really big sheet size for the simple object. We're actually going to switch this to A size A, 8.5 by 11. Okay, this other one is just a landscape view of the exact same thing. So we're going to do a portrait view on this one. Then we're going to hit OK. This will create a brand new sheet for us. And without clicking anything, there it is. There's my front view. And it asks me to place my base view. So this is going to be my front, and then everything else is going to project off of that. We have a simple object, so I'm just going to go down to the bottom left here and click it once. A couple things over here at the top right. We want to make sure that we have the visible and hidden edges shown for our multi-views. A scale, you can change this. It did a half scale for me. If I wanted it to be full scale, I would do 1:1 instead of 1:2. If it was too big, I could go 2:1 and shrink it down a little bit. So there is a half scale, or I'm sorry, a full scale right there. These other things you can kind of leave alone for now because of the simplicity. Notice we have some automated things. You can play around with that some other time. Right now, I just want you to know how to place dimensions. So we're gonna hit OK, and I can move this around if I need to, just to make changes. But just like we said, now with a multi-view drawing, we're gonna have our top, our right, and our isometric. And this is really easy, right? You go over here to where it says projected view. This creates projected orthogonal and isometric views of the design based off of this parent, right? So I'm going to click here. I can also hit the letter P, click on the parent. It causes the next view to pop up, and I'm just going to move my mouse without clicking up to the top. Notice how it's already aligning. I'm going to go off to the right-hand side, click once, and then I'm going to move my mouse up, my cursor up, and place my isometric view. Okay. When I got those three things for this simple object, I'm going to go ahead and hit create and continue. And you can see on our two-dimensional orthographic projections, we have our hidden lines, and we're also missing those some center marks and and center lines and dimensions, right? So that's what we want to do. Before we do that, it is standard to have our isometric view be completely shaded, so we wouldn't see any of this extra stuff in here. So we're going to right click on this and change Edit View, and we're going to go over here to this one right here, and this is going to be our shaded with no edges. Okay, I'm going to close that up. If you don't see hidden lines and you know that you have hidden features, you can right click on these, Edit View, and make sure that you change this to the one that shows the hidden lines. All right, that being said, let's go ahead and place some dimensions. I'm going to move this down a little bit because I know I'm going to want to have a little extra room up here, okay, for some dimensioning. The first thing that we could do, let's go ahead and find our circular features, if you have them, and let's go ahead and place some center marks. There's a center mark. I'm going to click that once. I'm going to go to the edge of the holes. I'm just going to click on it once, and that places my center mark. There's the other one. If you've got more, do more. Now I'm going to go to my center lines. These go between our hidden lines of our holes. All right, so I've got here to here. So I click on one edge of the hole, the other edge of the hole, and it puts the line in for me. I want to do that on all of these models. And that shows how those line up with the centers of those holes, right? Just like that. Now we can start placing some dimensions. Kind of like we talked about in class, we'll start with our overall dimensions and then kind of work our way to the smaller ones. So our overall height from here to here, all right, I've clicked this button for dimensioning. I've clicked the top corner down to this corner, and I'm going to drag this out. Now, because these two share the same height, I'm going to kind of put this right in the middle so that I don't have to put it again. Otherwise, be over dimensioning. The next thing I'm going to want to place on this one right here is going to be the location, okay, of this hole. So again, I'm going to click the middle of this because I have my center mark. Go down to this edge, and I'm going to move that over here. Okay, that's the next feature from the top to the bottom here. I'm not going to dimension to a hidden feature, so I'm going to leave that one alone over there. But the other location that I would need would be from here to here, right? So from here to here and up. And I probably should have done this wider version first. So let's take care of this piece right here, that shared dimension between the top and the front. All right, so we know the distance from here to there. We know the distance all the way across. We know the total height and the location here. So Machinist has everything they need to place that hole. But we still have a hole over here that we got to take care of. So again, we're not going to dimension a hidden feature, so we'll take care of it over here. We could do the depth. Overall depth of this is going to be 2. In this case, because I don't want to have all these intersecting lines, I'm actually going to pull from center to this edge down. All right. And that way I have less crisscrossing lines to locate that hole. Okay, we're also going to go from here to here, and we'll just kind of mark that right in the middle. So now we have the location of that hole. We've got the depth of this. We already have the height. There it is. Okay, so we don't need to put that again. Now, the only other things that we are missing are information about these holes. Okay, so what is the diameter? So with this same tool that we have, we can just click right on the edge of this, and it produces a leader line with the symbol that I need. And we kind of want to find the best location where it's not going to be intersecting with a lot of other things. So I'm actually, for mine, I'm just going to go ahead and pull it right into here. Okay, there's a diameter hole there of 0.5. And I'm going to do this one here. And let's just kind of place that one right in the middle. Okay, diameter of 1. So I have the diameters of my holes, I have the locations of my holes, and I've got my overall dimensions. This should be now fully dimensioned. You would want to make sure you double check everything else that you have for yours. When you're done placing all of your dimensions in the best way possible, you're going to go ahead and click Export PDF. Hit OK. Save it. Probably IED 123. Step 6, I think, is what we're on. And then that file should show up in your downloads. There you go. I went into my downloads folder. So now you can upload that to your assignments. And that's how you create that. We'll go into other things later on about making modifications to things down here. We'll eventually create a template, but that's it for now.